Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I'm pouring the newest holographic mold from Molds and Shapes, and it's the Oriental mold. This is the L-size tray mold, so I'm very curious how my pour is gonna turn out, because I want to pour in rather organic colors. So I already put some resin into my cups. I'm using the ultra cast resin and I start mixing my colors. So I've done, I guess it's 2 years ago, a similar pour, and I want to repeat it because I thought it was very awesome. So I'm starting with black, and I'm using the black pigment drops from Etta Art. And here I have the maple. This is an intensive chameleon pigment from Resin. I almost said a holographic pigment. No, it's a chameleon pigment. So I mix this into my black and I'm stirring it very well. And this is my color, and look how yummy it's looking. I really love it. So I thought I add 1 more drops of the pigment drops to have it a tiny bit darker. I don't know if it really became darker. Sometimes, you think it is, but maybe it's not so much dark. But you see the sheen to the black, and I really adore this. And now my next color, and this is the Interference Champagne. It's mica powder from Etta Art. I just love the interference colors. They are very beautiful, very awesome. And I'm using here the champagne color. And look, this is also a very delicate and very beautiful color. And I really love this. So please make sure you are always mixing your micas very well. Here I have also for my center a little bit a mixture of what I had with glass stones, with some shells and some other black stones. So it was just something I had to hand. And now I'm pouring my clear resin into the mold. I just make sure that the bottom of my mold is covered with the resin. So you see I still have some resin in my cup, and now I'm just spreading out the resin a little bit because it's really a very thin layer of resin, so that the bottom is covered. You still see a little bit of the holographic effect, so it's wonderful. I just love the holographic effect because I think with the resin pieces, they are even more shiny than normal. That's what I personally think. But, it's of course up to everyone else, how they like it, whether with holographic effect, whether with not holographic effect. I like it, not for every pour, but sometimes I like the difference between something looking very organic and the holo effect. So I'm taking here my mixture with the black and the chameleon pigment, and I'm just pouring around, try to catch the edges, and I'm pouring from rather up high in a thin stream, and I hope with this to avoid the air bubbles. At least, I'm trying. So I'm going like in 2 rounds, and then I'm taking the Interference Champagne, just give it a stir again, and then I can also pour from up high. Sorry, my voice. I just lost my voice for a second. I think you heard it. Anyway, so I'm pouring on top of the black and maple color, and I'm pouring also next to it. You see it there with my Interference Champagne. And then I'm taking my clear resin again, and I'm just pushing out the colors. You see it, I just push them right to the edges. So, and that's my resin done. And I will continue with altering my colors. So first the dark color again, just pouring around. Basically, it's not a difficult technique. I also don't wait because some people are asking me, do you wait till your resin it's really warm? No, I do not. The ultracast resin is a resin with a long working time. I think it's around about 60 minutes or something, and it really moves for quite a while. And this is making the striations. Sometimes I help it a little bit with the heat gun, you will see it later, because there are still bubbles and some foam from the resin, and I just make sure that this is gone, and there I use my heat gun, and then I'm just carefully pushing a little bit the colors. So now you see that I use all my colors in this piece. I also take care of some of the bubbles which are trapped on the bottom of the mold, but they are not really many, thank God, because sometimes it's different. It's sometimes also difficult to pour these pours in winter, but you can avoid it a little bit by putting your part A on the heating, or I mainly put part A on my heating system, and then I slowly mix my resin. So especially with thick resin. So here's now my mixture for the center, and I just hope I also got the center, that I'm not off center, because this is easily happening. Sometimes also I don't have an eye for this, and then I think it's the center and then it's not the center. But I think it's looking good, so fingers crossed. So, and this is my pour almost done, but I still had some resin left in my cup. There was still a little bit of resin or of space in my mold, so you will see in a second that I'm adding a little bit more color. But here was the heat gun, which I said earlier, which I used just to pop bubbles and just to help the resin flow a little bit. And now, like I said, I'm using the rest of my colors, just altering them a little bit. There was something in my mold, one of those little glass stones, which I had to take out. And then I'm taking also my interference champagne and using also here the rest I have, just going in circles. So, and now I can really let my resin flow, and you will see it in a time lapse, and I always adore this. I could watch this for hours. I could not film till the end, but I can tell you that the center was rather closed at the end, but you will see it later. But you also see how the resin is moving at that time. I think I filmed this for 45 minutes, so it was quite a long time. And at some point, I really need to take my phone because I need it. But you see also the nice color combination. I really adore this. It's, I like those organic colors very much. So, and this is a close-up. And like I said, you see it's not completely moved yet, but it was still moving. And I was a little bit afraid because do you see all those little dots? I seem to have not mixed the interference champagne proper enough. So this is what's happening, you know, it's floating. But let's wait and see if it's also floating and dropping to the bottom. But this is the next day. I can demold, and because it's winter, it was still soft after, I guess it were 20 hours. And I wanted to shape it a bowl, and it was still soft enough for this. So let's have a look. And look at this beautiful crackle and web effect. I really adore it together with the beautiful holographic effect. And I can tell you there were not the pieces I was worried about on my resin piece. So I'm lucky. But here you see me struggle once again making my bowl. So it was still all right for bending, but sometimes I have the problem to press this into my aluminium bowl. So I had a few challenges. I was struggling. I was also laughing, about myself. But at the end, the bowl lost, or my resin piece, and it's in the bowl. So I won. Anyway, so this is the sorted, and I'm very happy with the pour. And I will show you the final result in a second. I let this sit in my bowl for another 24 hours, and this is the final result. And see the delicate holographic effect. I really love it. And yeah, combined with the natural and organic colors. I really adore this color combination. But this is only me. Anyway, with this, I love and leave you like always. I thank you for watching, and please guys, take good care of yourselves. Bye bye.